Welcome, Raider Nation. I'm your host, Zachary Barnett, and I'm with my good friend Dakota Ness today. Dakota Ness, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Zach. Nice to see you.
I've been told you have some big plans on your step. You made a debut, a country debut. The song's called Family Roads.
I did.
So what caused you to make the song Family Roads?
Well, it started, I've been writing since I was about 15 or so. Wrote my first song. It was kind of a parody of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. It was kind of just a little church song that I did. And then just started progressing through that and officially wrote my first song on my own probably when I was about 15. But this song is about the road that I grew up on. At one point, everyone in my family on that Lloyd Road, which is the road we were on, Lloyd Road was all part of my family except for like two houses. So whenever we wanted to have little get-togethers, we'd walk down. If we wanted to have a pool party, we'd walk down. Just wanted to hang out and play some baseball or something, we just walked down to each other's house. So at one point, everyone on that road was a part of my family except for like maybe two houses.
Now, how far is your musical background?
I've been doing music probably, at least music's been in my life probably my entire, since I was born. My mom has a music degree. My grandpa, he's always been big into the music and everything else, so it just kind of came naturally. It was more pushed, but I love doing it, so I don't feel pushed, but it's always been a part of my life.
So during the thought process of making this single, Family Road, what was like the most important aspect of making this song? Is it the message? Is it the vocals? What is it?
That's a good question. When my writing, I like to make them relatable. I like people to be able to relate to it. Real life situations. So in Family Road, one of the lines in there is, I have everything I need within a mile. So that road is just a little over a mile long, and my family's there. I work there now. My job is there. My friends are there. We grew our own food. We had a big garden and all that stuff. And then we had a church down the road. So we'd always walk down there. And it used to be a big gravel road, as my grandpa would always say. So when he grew up there, he grew up there his entire life. He's still there. So that's my big aspect when I write. I like to make it relatable. I like to make it real life, real life scenarios. And just stuff people can relate to. That's the whole country genre. Just relatable, tell the story. Didn't have to be anything fancy, just tell a story.
Now, you are a choir director at the West Union High School. Did you always think you were going to do music as a career?
I always knew music would be a part of my life. I did not, when I was in high school, I did not plan to be coming back to the school that I went to. My original goal was to be in civil construction and civil engineering and construction management, kind of just because I like building houses and I like helping my dad build stuff. But I always found myself, when I was at college, I would be done at 1 o'clock every day, and I'd be going to the music hall. I'd find myself there every day. I was like, well, this is where I want to spend most of my time, so I might as well just go ahead and switch and make it what I wanted to do. And I'm glad I did that. And I love doing the choir, and I love doing that because I get to do something different with music every day. It's not just teaching math or teaching social studies, same thing.
So how was it easy to just switch over the majors?
It wasn't too difficult. I was used to, in high school, going through school, obviously, and then after school we had the practices constantly till 9 o'clock p.m. every night. So I wasn't used to being done at 1 o'clock every day. So mentally it was easy to switch because I was used to doing that. But as far as like going through the administration and the president and getting all that stuff switched over, they made it pretty simple. The biggest part of it was going from normal college credit hours, like 12 or 16 or 18 or whatever it was. I had to do 21 or 22 to get caught back up. So plus, in the music, you have all those credits, but that doesn't include your electives and your recitals and all that stuff you have to do for no credit. It doesn't count as a credit. So really, I was taking 21 credits plus my voice lessons, recitals and stuff like that were kind of like mandatory to go to. So it wasn't hard to switch it over, but if you're not used to the add-on of all the extra stuff, it would probably be a little difficult. But if that's what you want to do, you'll make it happen.
So did you ever, whenever you switch majors, did you ever envision yourself coming back to your old high school and start, becoming a teacher or director of any sort?
Yep. When I switched over, that was my plan. It was to come back and teach at my home high school. My girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, her dad was our band director. So that kind of made it a little easier in there. That was the whole plan, so he could retire and get out of there, and I could slip in right away. So that was the plan from the initial start. No one believed me. They didn't think it would work that easily, but it did.
So you mentioned our band director, Mr. Carl Schneider, which is a Mount Union alumni. Has he had a big influence on your life and career going forward?
Yes, he's a very talented and educated man. He's very strong-minded, and he knows what he wants, and he knows. And I go to him for a lot of guidance through all this. He's actually the one who helped me get these 4 songs recorded. He was my producer, as you would call it. He provided the money for it. And he had enough faith in me, and to think I could do it. And here we are now, and hopefully it continues to grow. And he's been right behind me, supporting me the whole time.
So you mentioned him being behind you. I do remember seeing on social media that you were going down to Nashville to do these songs and recordings. Can you take me through the process of, going from West Union, going down to Nashville for a little bit, start recording the songs and stuff like that?
So the guy that owned the studio that we went to, his name is Jack Gavin. He actually is the one who played drum set on my recording. He actually went to college with Carl as well. Before he went to Mount Union, it was at the some community college in Buffalo, New York, where they met, and they roomed together for a year or so. So we had that connection. So Carl called him up and said, "Hey, I have a son-in-law who would like to record some stuff, and I think it'd be really good." So, of course, he's like, "Yeah, bring him on down." They wanted the money. They weren't thinking anything of it. But by the time I got down there and recorded all that, they were very impressed, and he ended up wanting to sign me as my publisher, which was like a big deal. So I went ahead and did that. But as far as the process, we went down there. We stayed a couple nights or whatever. We did it all in one day. We started at 9 a.m. and went till about 6. We went in there, did a foundation track of just me doing some practice vocals for the musicians to get an idea of how the song goes. I gave them my chart and said, "This is what I want, this is where we need it." And I said, "Everything else is up to you. As long as you have my riff and my lyrics and my chord progression, you have freedom to create whatever you want." So the guitarist that I had was Dolly Parton's studio session guitarist, and this entire band that I recorded with was actually the band that did Dolly Parton's new rock album this past year. So all those people played on that, and they're the ones, when you listen to the track, that's them doing that. The guitarist, he was the producer and guitarist for Dolly Parton. The pianist was the music director for Olivia Newton-John, and he's played with a bunch of other people. The drum set guy was Jack Gavin, who owned the studio. He was the drummer for the Charlie Daniels Band for about 14, 15 years, and he traveled all around with them and all that stuff. The, bass guitar guy, he is kind of like the co-owner of the studio with Jack, and he's played with a bunch of guys. And they have fiddler. He has played with tons of people, and he's probably mid-30s. He's not very old, but he came in, and he was only there for about 15 minutes and left. Got paid, did his thing 15 minutes, and was gone. So very talented guys, and they've all worked with, like, Tanya Tucker, Clint Black, Kane Brown, Olivia Newton-John, Dolly Parton, all these big names, and it was pretty impressive. I said, "Here it is." I was like, "You guys need time to practice?" They said, "No, let's just do it." So they did that for the first few hours, got their part, and then we went in and did the vocals, and the background vocalist, she came in later.
So you mentioned you had 4 songs. You recorded 4 songs.
Yep.
are you going to release a couple more singles before you put out that full album?
Yeah, so I released Family Road in February, late February. And then my next one is coming out. It's the first time I'm saying this out loud. It's April 18th is going to be the next one. So, and then about every 2 months I'm doing another one, kind of evenly spread, because I've only got 4 of them recorded.
Right.
So I'm trying to go out and perform and make some money to get some money to record some new ones. So I'm going to spread them out about every 2 months, keep them anticipating the next one, and we'll see how far it goes. So I got a couple. I know I have another show lined up July 21st at the Willow. I'll be releasing that sometime this week and putting it out to the public too. So, but other than that, yeah, that's the goal, is just to release about every couple months. And
so, Family Road, for this first upcoming album, I'm assuming Family Road's going to be on the album, correct?
Yes. So an album, I'm releasing them all as singles or EPs right now, and then hopefully I can get some money to go record about 4 or 5 more, because an album's usually
and then put them all together,
8 to 12 songs, and then release them all individually, and then put out an album of all of them together.
So for the future album, since Family Roads is talking about family and stuff like that, is that going to set the tone for the album, where you're talking about things that are close to you?
Yeah, so Carl mentioned something like that, and I think it's a good idea, because a lot of the ones that I have that I've written this past year or so kind of relate to that family, the small town, growing up, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that would be a good idea. The next 4 I have are kind of similar to that, like everything, the country living, the old farmhouse, the farmland, the family. I think it's a good idea to kind of relate to that. The next 4 I plan on doing are in that style. So I think that's kind of the theme I'm going for this one.
Okay. So you talked about earlier your inspiration was like, fast car and stuff like that. Who else has been like a huge inspiration, someone that you looked up to?
Yeah. If we're talking family, that would be my grandpa. He's always been a great guitar player. My mom, she's got me into all that. And if we're talking musicians, I kind of growing up, my grandpa always listened to Willie Nelson, kind of like that outlaw country, the storytelling.
Right.
So I listened to a lot of him. His son, Lucas Nelson, I listen to him a lot.
So what are some of like the overall like future goals? Because like you got the choir director, you also do after school activities, stuff like that, but now you also have this music career.
Right.
So like what are your overall goals for this career?
So obviously I love doing the choir and the after school stuff and the plays and stuff like that, but the ultimate goal I would consider right now, I am a choir director, music director with a music career on the side. So just depending on however far that goes will determine what I want. Obviously, if that is what happens, I would love to try it, but it would also be very hard to leave this and leave the kids. But right now, my goal is to build up my social media, get my name out there, widen my audience range of who knows about it, by the way, follow me. And the big goal for the near future, obviously the big goal is to make it and do it.
Right.
But the next goal for me would be to get enough money to go down and hire my studio band back and do a showcase down in Nashville at one of the bigger clubs that a bunch of higher-end people have played at. So that would be my goal. Right now, obviously, it's to just get my name out there, build up my social media, build up my following people, do some local shows and performances at some festivals. I've had some fairs and festivals and stuff reach out. The July 21st one, that's my next thing to look at. And then raise some money to go down to Nashville and start doing it around there. Some mini tour stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
So what is the whole purpose of this music career? Is it like fame that you're looking for? Is it the money? Is it?
I think it's just the experience is what I want to do. Just to say, hey, I tried, And it's always been, I'm sure it's a dream of everybody's is
Right.
to do something, become the fame. But it's not really the fame. I'm I have a song I wrote a long time ago. I'm good with hometown fame. That's what I like. But I'd say the main thing that I'm doing it for is just for the experience. I just want to see what it would be like,
It's kind of
and
like
it's fun.
therapy,
I enjoy
too.
doing it. Yeah, it's therapy. When I'm bored or down and out, I just go grab a guitar and start writing a song. That's what inspires. Speaking on that, just if I feel like writing a song, I'll go write one. If not, I won't. I'm not just going to sit back here and say, hey, today I need to write a song.
Right.
Because that's not what makes the good ones. The experience, man, let's just go see what happens. Then it starts coming out. If no lyrics are coming to me, I'm just, all right, we'll put it away, we'll come back later. But, yeah, just the experience of doing it and being able to say, yeah, I tried it. If not, it doesn't work.
So so obviously, you have a long background in music.
Mm-hmm.
You have family members who are musicians as well. What are like some of the challenges that you were throughout your music career were approached, and like how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, so as a songwriter, the biggest challenge is obviously not being able to conquer that blank page.
Right.
Like what? And I more write on experiences and things that have happened. My biggest problem is writing upbeat songs. I'm more of which I'm sure if you ask anyone who writes music, the slower ones and the ballads
Right.
come a lot easier than the upbeat ones. So that's my biggest challenge, and that's the thing I'm trying to figure out how to conquer and overcome is, all right, let's write some upbeat songs, which I have been getting better at them. I have a few, which are, I think 3 of the next 4 I want to record are more upbeat ones, so that would be the biggest thing. The uncertainty of what, leaving and just going all into a music career, that would be another challenge because you don't know, it's not guaranteed, right? The income's not guaranteed. You never know what's going to happen if you'll have another show, if you're going to have people show up to your show or whatever, So the uncertainty from the songwriter aspect, not being able to write new material, and then obviously I'm a homebody, so, if it does happen, I'll have to move away from all my family and stuff like that. So there's a few different challenges, but, if it happens, you got to do what you got to do, so.
Well, Dakota, it looks like that's all the time that we have. I appreciate you coming on here and talking about
appreciate
your
you having
music
me.
experience and stuff like that. And Raider Nation, go ahead and still continue watching the video because right after this, we're going to play Dakota Ness's Family Roads right after here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dakota, again.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Well, you wouldn't know it unless you're from around here. That old gravel road has made some memories through the years. From making footpaths to a fishing hole, the dust clouds burn up the taillight glow. I grew up here, it's where my roots were sowed. And my mom got us up for church every Sunday morning. And we'd start that walk down that old dusty drive. Pick up a couple good skipping rocks and toss them on into the neighbor's pond. Oh, why would I ever want to leave? I've got all I need within a mile. Grandma and Grandpa always greet me with a smile. No need for the market, 'cause we grow our own. This old gravel road's what I call home. park, 'cause we grow our own. This old gravel road's what I call home. And I can drive it all with my eyes closed, and I bet I won't hit a single one of them potholes. And I can guarantee that I'm never leaving. Oh, I can guarantee that I'm never leaving. Yeah, I can guarantee that I'm never leaving this family road.